Perfect. Are you ready?
Yo, what is up, everybody? Your boy E-Man from the Average Joe Sports Talk Podcast. And, of course, alongside the homie, Cricket. Welcome, everybody, to another edition of the Unscripted Sportscast. What up, Cricket? How's it going, brother?
What's up, brother? How you doing this evening, man? Good to see you. Good to see you. Said you're feeling under the weather right now, man.
One of those, I don't know what the deal is. I was feeling fine yesterday, the day before. All of a sudden today, as the day progressed, I started feeling stuffy and all downhill from there. So far, no body aches, nothing, just a lot of like head congestion and stuff like that. But hey, man, we're here. We don't go anywhere unless we are, like you said, off screen. Unless you're getting those chills and body aches and that put you down in bed.
Yeah, man.
We're not going anywhere, man.
That's when it gets real rough right there, bro.
You know how it is, bro. You're a parent. You have kids in school, especially little kids. Got a 6 and a 10-year-old. Little 6-year-old is a little fucker that starts everything because he's the one that gets sick first, gives it to his sister. Then it goes down to his mom, and then it goes down to me. But this time around,
It spreads like wildfire, bro.
It is, bro. It is. I tell people, I was like, dude, when I was like, before I was married, I spent a lot of years without kids in marriage, started having them laid. I rarely got sick. I only got sick because I wanted it to. But now it's like, shit, I want it at any time.
Right. Yeah, it can stick out. I've always been pretty good about not getting sick. I've always been a pretty healthy dude, man. But when I usually do catch one of those things, it usually puts me down for a minute.
That's usually the way it is with individuals that have a good immune system, man. You may not get it often, but when you do, watch out. Anyway, we are here, man. Look, it's post Super Bowl, 2 weeks post Super Bowl, but we still got a lot of shit to talk about, man. I want to hit a couple of some of the free agent points right now because there's like 3 unrestricted free agents, right? That they're automatically in the market now that I really want to talk about, right? Because they got to have a big impact on the league. And also I want to talk a little bit some NBA. I don't know if you saw J.J. Reddick going ham on Doc Rivers the other day on First Take. I want to play you that clip. And then also I want to talk about a little bit of, of course, in case you missed it, the best highlights. You can hear me there? Or you're frozen there for a second. You good?
Yeah, it froze up for a second too on my end. I don't know if it's
you or me, man.
I'm gonna leave and I'm gonna come back in. All right.
No problem. Go ahead. Hold on, I'm kicking you out. You're still, yep. All right, Cricket will be back. But in the meantime, before he gets back, we definitely got to get going here. And we want to talk about some of the free agents. And I want to start with Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins, unrestricted free agent. And as we all know, earlier this week, the Minnesota Vikings really have interest in signing Kirk Cousins. They want to stay with Kirk Cousins, but they're unwilling to give him a fully guaranteed contract like he's had in the past. As we all know, he's had a couple of guaranteed contracts here as he's been with the Vikings, and he's probably looking for another one. I mean, they're not long-term deals. They're actually short-term deals, 2 years, 3 years. He's had like a $90 million guaranteed. There's no wiggle room, but I guess the Vikings are not ready to commit again yet another guaranteed contract here. So, look, Kirk Cousins is a guy that hasn't won in the playoffs consistently, but he is one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL. It's been one of the best quarterbacks for the Vikings right now so far. Let me get Cricket in.
I think that
you're back, baby.
I think it's better. I don't know. I might have to restart my stuff, man. I don't know. It's running slow. It's doing something funny right now. I don't know what's really going on there.
That happened to me a couple of weeks ago, remember? And that's what I had to do. But mine was I had an outage. Well, let's kick it with a little bit, and if you get slow, go ahead and restart it.
Yeah, we're good right now. We're good right now. I think we can roll with it for a little bit. What we got going on here, man?
Hey, listen, man. I want to talk about Kirk Cousins, man. If you know, the Vikings are willing to sign him. They want to sign Kirk Cousins, but not to another guaranteed contract. I don't blame them, but let's talk about this, man. I don't think they're in position to draft a quarterback. I don't know if they are in the position to kind of dictate the contract here, but what do you think? will Kirk Cousins be back with the Vikings, or is he going to exercise free agency? Because by not picking up his option, he's an unrestricted free agent, so he's hitting the market. Kirk Cousins is going to be available once the free agent
I think
deadline starts.
I think it's going to be real tough for Kirk Cousins to get a guaranteed contract from anybody, really, because I mean, you got the guy is 36 years old, and I mean, he's coming off a pretty bad injury, and that Achilles injury that's usually at least 8 months for some guys that are much younger than him. Aaron Rodgers is just an alien, and he heals differently.
Yeah.
Man. I think they put him in one of those tubes on Planet Nike to get that thing healed up quicker. But
Yep.
Kirk Cousins, I'm sure he's taking great care of his body, but there's always that big question mark surrounding that when you're that age. And I mean, the guy's very productive still. He's still a good quarterback in the league if he can stay on the field. But I think with the coming back from the big injury, if he comes back and has a great year next year and shows he can be healthy for the duration of a season, then you might see him sign. I mean, these guys are playing into their 40s now, some of them. So, I mean, he's only 36, I guess. But, I mean, if he comes back and has a big year next year, but I don't know that next year he's going to get a contract with any guaranteed money from anybody just because of the health question marks.
Yeah, I think the only team who could get a guaranteed contract will be from the Minnesota Vikings, not anybody else.
Just them showing a little loyalty, maybe.
Exactly. But one of the things I want to touch about this, it brings up a really good scenario, right? If the Vikings don't give him the guaranteed money, is he willing to walk? And I think he will. And there's homes for him that can maybe not give him that guaranteed money, but can actually pay him a pretty penny for an individual who, with the Vikings, has played 88 games, thrown over 23,000 yards, 171 touchdowns, and 55 interceptions. Those are some pretty freaking good numbers. He's actually the second Vikings. He's not only number 2 to Frank Tarkenton. What is it? Can't even pronounce his last name. Frank Tarkenton in touchdown. Yeah. He has like 2.
Jerry Tarkanian was the coach for UNLV back in the day, man.
That's where I'm getting confused, man. The guy chewing the towel. He's number 2 of all time, is what I want to say, with 171. And remember, he played what, 2 seasons, 2 or 3 seasons with the Redskins. So the numbers reflect high salary quarterback. The success doesn't. The postseason success, because he's very successful during the season.
Well, yeah. I mean, we'll say that the numbers are there, but I was going to actually throw that at you, man. Let me give you a little crazy scenario, man. We've seen it, and stay with me here, but we've seen the Green Bay Packers, kind of usher these young quarterbacks along behind veteran guys. Now, granted, they were able to do it behind 2 Hall of Famers, but you were able to usher these guys along under veteran quarterbacks and let them sit for the first 2 or 3 years. We know the Commanders have a high pick in this thing at number 2. We know they're going to take one of the big dog quarterbacks, whoever's available there. Is it a bad spot if you maybe let Kirk Cousins return to Washington and play that mentor role to one of these young guys so you don't have to throw that young guy to the Wolves? Because let's remember, that Commanders, don't call me the Redskins, that offensive line last year was garbage, man. Do you really want to get that young kid out there and get his confidence bursted by just destroying him in that thing? Maybe you get Kirk back there, you let him mentor that thing, you try to bolster that offensive line some, build it up for the next couple of years to prepare for your future franchise quarterback there, and let him study under Kirk Cousins and learn a thing or two in the NFL before you throw him to the Wolves.
That's a good idea. I like that. I was going to talk landing places for him, of course, if he doesn't stay with Minnesota, which that's a good one. He goes back home, right? He goes into the Commanders' new realm, right? I like that. But you know what?
You got Kingsbury as the offensive coordinator there, man. It could be.
They got people. Just the offensive line sucks really bad, and Kirk, I don't think he wants to get banged up that much. That's not a bad.
That's true. I don't know if he can. I don't know if that would be the best spot for him with that line. He may not hold up.
But I got a better one for you. The Atlanta Falcons. The Atlanta Falcons.
Man, I've been thinking about that one. I like that, bro.
Tell me why.
Tell me why you like it.
Think about this, right? Great running game, which he's never had. Well, he's had a decent one. Great running game. Look, Trey London is a freaking Pro Bowler.
Drake London? Yeah. Drake London, yeah, he's a beast.
You got Bijan Robinson, Saquon 2.0, who could do it all. Terry Algier behind him. You got freaking Pitts, all right? Kyle Pitts, who, yes, had a great rookie season, but then after that,
they've got weapons.
Yeah, they got weapons. And the offensive line, they're working on it. Their defense is not bad either. You put him in that.
No, they've got a lot of solid pieces down there, man. For Raheem Morris coming in with that thing, I mean, you put a guy like Kirk Cousins in the middle of that offense right there, a guy that can really distribute the ball to different places because, Bijan can catch out of the backfield. Tyler Algiers, your kind of bang running back right there. Drake London can make plays, man. That guy's a football player. Kyle Pitts, if anybody would ever learn how to use that guy and free Kyle Pitts, I've been saying this for years, man. I might actually start looking at him in fantasy again if they get a quarterback down there. But I think that would be a good landing spot, man. I thought about that one too, with a solid offensive line, a good defense you can build off of. I mean, you got the new regime coming in. Why not give it a shot, man?
I like Kirk. That's my favorite, probably best fit, right, for him. And you know what, dude? It could be an experiment for Atlanta. That is it's a 2-year contract, right? I don't think nobody's gonna give him 4 years, right? If he gets the guaranteed money, it's going to be a 2-year scenario where he probably gets like 35 million a year, 70 fully guaranteed, that kind of stuff. That's what they'll probably throw at him if they want a fully guaranteed contract, right? I think the last one was what, 3 years, 80 something million. This one right now is expiring.
Something like that.
Yeah, something like that. So that's what he's going to get. He's not going to get like a Deshaun Watson crazy ass money guarantee. That's not going to happen. That's just a one-time.
Oh, they wasted that money too.
Yeah, that's what's like the fuck up. And I think Kirk Cousins is much better than than Deshaun. He's bringing a lot less baggage. But again, the guaranteed money, it's going to be more of I'm going to give you 2 years. You're going to take the regular contract here, or 4 years with 2 years guaranteed, whatever the case may be, 80 million or something like that. And that's what he's going to have to take if he wants to play in the NFL. I don't think he's going to see another fully guaranteed contract like the last couple he's had, because he's had 2 of them with the Vikings. They've just been short terms, which is pretty smart though.
I don't think.
Yeah,
it is pretty smart, man. Yeah, but I don't think we see him get another guaranteed contract. I'm with you there.
But if he walks and the Vikings don't pull the trigger, the Falcons have to.
I agree. I think the Falcons would be foolish not to at least try.
Yep. Over freaking Russell Wilson, who's might be another guy that's going to be available. I think Kirk, fully healthy, probably fits that scheme, what is needed for that team, a lot better, in my book.
I agree.
So. Right, I got another one for you. I got another free agent here, man. As you know, my boy Saquon Barkley officially is they're not going to use the franchise tag. He's going to hit the open market, even though we know that the Giants are still going to negotiate with him. Look, I love Saquon, man. You know what? This guy, if he wasn't for the injuries, he would be a Giant for the rest of his career. I think that's what's been, the dragging part. Had a great comeback season last year. This year, the Giants were a shit show. Technically, he had a decent season. I think he didn't crack 1,000 yards because he did get injured a couple of times this year. Did rush for over 247 attempts, had 6 touchdowns. Not a great year, but still a very productive year with a really bad team and offensive line. So, honestly, I don't think he comes back to the Giants. But he will land somewhere else, and there are some peculiar situations here that's going to fuck the Giants up because they never traded him when they had the chance. What do you think?
There's a lot of teams that would pay some good money for this guy right here, especially teams you could put him on. You think about putting a guy like this on the Dallas Cowboys, man. You put him in there with Tony Pollard. You're not really using up either one of them, man. You can spread those. They're both the same type guys. You don't really have to change the offense up much when one of them comes out. So you find him in a spot like Dallas, man. That could be one of the missing pieces for that team. That offense is already electrifying. I know the Cowboys. I don't want to hear that shit. That's still a good football team down there. And Mike McCarthy's still a good football coach. I don't want to hear that nonsense from anybody. So you put a guy like this into that lineup, that could be an interesting spot for me. Or maybe a place like L.A. Chargers. Somebody with Harbaugh. I mean, that could be interesting too.
That's true. I didn't think about that one. And in addition to Dallas is one of my teams that I wrote it down here because I don't think they're going to stick with Pollard this year, like you mentioned. But I'm going to give you 2 of them. And let me go hit the comments real quick before I give you mine. I don't know why everyone thinks Derrick Henry signs with the Ravens. We're going to hit that in a while, Ravery Sports. Thanks for tuning in, buddy. Let me see here. I hope the Ravens sign Saquon Barkley. Look, that's another possibility. That
would be nasty. You put that guy in a lineup with Lamar out there, and you got Zay Flowers out there on the outside, Mark Andrews, the tight end. Boy, that makes that offense a lot more potent, man.
It's a possibility. Definitely a strong possibility. And we got to talk about Derrick Henry because that's my third guy, my third most interesting free agent right now. That is definitely going to change, that is going to tip this market. But for Saquon, think about this one. You said Dallas, right? And we just mentioned the Ravens here on the comments. Appreciate you, Ravery Sports. The Philadelphia Eagles are not planning to re-sign Swift. What does not make them the opportunity to then go after Saquon Barkley in that starting lineup? And he's got to stay in the same freaking division, biting the Giants in the ass. That's one.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I like that one as much for him. I mean, I don't know. I think the Eagles got a lot of in-house problems that are still coming to the surface and still will continue to come to the surface throughout the next season. Maybe they'll
Hey,
prove me wrong. Maybe they'll turn it around. But
Sa-
the way they ended the season, man, it told me there was a whole lot under the surface that we weren't seeing that was causing a lot of problems. You don't just fall from grace the way they did, and there not be some stuff inside that's causing problems. So I don't even know if it's Saquon. I mean, you don't want to go in a building with more drama. You don't want to get out of it. When you get a fresh start, you want to be a fresh start. That's why I'm thinking a place like LA, man. I think a place like the Chargers where everybody's making a fresh start out there. Why not hop in that thing, man? I don't know. LA, though, LA probably can't do it because
I
of the
like
salary
LA.
cap issues. They got a bunch of salary cap issues with the Chargers.
I like LA, but the reason why I said Philadelphia as well because they got to have a void, but it's also he's from Penn State. He went to Penn State. He's well loved in that area.
That's
So
true.
maybe they'll use a whole Penn State.
That's true. I didn't think about that angle. That's true. I didn't think about that angle, man.
I
So
mean,
maybe,
again,
man. Maybe
we are analyzing possible destination, but however, that's not the best destination for him. All right, bro. My new squad, the new GOAT, the Texans with C.J. Stroud.
Bro.
Think about
Okay.
this. He started following the Texans, started following C.J. Stroud, started following, I think, the tight end Brevin, whatever his name is. He followed a couple of Texas players and the team as well. And it's just, of course, I'm sorry, guys. I got to going down with this fucking cold and it just hitting me.
You're good, brother.
But obviously, man, I thought about that. I'm like, holy crap, man. The Texans, him in that lineup with C.J. Stroud. Holy smokes, man. Healthy.
Bro, yeah. That's not a bad angle at all, man. Not a bad angle at all. Really that would make that offense pretty nasty, man.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think it would be used in a couple of different ways in combination with, Pierce, I think, has 1 more year or 2 more years. I don't know. They might even get rid of freaking Pierce. But I think you got him as the number 1 back. You know what Saquon can do in that offense. He'll be able to catch it like a wide receiver, like he does. The all-purpose yards. That's my favorite, probably landing spot. And I mean, if I'm Saquon, dude, that's where I'm trying to have my agents sign me. Young team, up-and-coming quarterback who we know has all the tools. Just a good culture overall, just to get everything behind the Giants away. Because, technically, as much as I love Saquon, he's been in a very dysfunctional, team since he got drafted.
Right? There's been a lot going on up there with your boys, man, for sure. So I think that I think he does need to find him a new spot, fresh start. He's still got some good years left in him, man. So I hope he does find a good spot with a contender, man. I'd like to see this guy playing some big time games.
Me too. I mean, hey, it's I love Saquon, man, but I think we're gonna end up letting him go. And honestly, I don't know if we should trade him or whatever the case may be. But my last guy, Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry, my dude. This guy is just an animal. All right. I know everybody's saying that he is completely over the hill or whatever the case may be. But I'm gonna give you some over the hill numbers after we see this individual who is built different, freaking season year 9, working his ass off. Hey, look at this.
ASAP.
Come on. And he's ready to
ASAP.
as an animal.
Hey, you niggas better exit ASAP.
The guy's built a brick house. You know what I'm saying? He's ready to do some work. And there are some teams here, and they kind of like Ravery Sport kind of took it ahead of me. But my favorite line this man is actually the Ravens for him.
That would be nasty, man.
Because he ain't coming back to the sea.
No, he shouldn't, man. He shouldn't. We said all along we thought that was Ty J. Spears' job for the future, man. Mm-hmm. We thought that was going to be the case. That's what they drafted him to do. And Derrick Henry, I hope he's another one that finds a spot in a good spot where we get to see him play in some more big games. He's played in a few big playoff games in his career, but I'd really like to see him play in some big time championship type games, man.
Look, and I think the whole Texans, Ravens, Eagles, Dallas is also very, very possible destinations for him because they all have the cap. They got to have the running. They got to have the position open, right? Because they don't have to resign any of their running backs. They could go to free agency instead of drafting one. So that's also
true.
It's also open up there for them. Check this out. He had a declining year, right? Okay. Let me show you what a declining year is for Derrick. He had a total of 280 rushing attempts, 1,167 rushing yards, 12 touchdowns. All right. This is a declining year.
That's a down year, right?
For a 9 fucking year. That's how this guy is a freak of fucking nature. That's a declining year. When you take the other top back that's available in Saquon Barkley and you compare his numbers, he blows Barkley's number out of the water. DeAndre Swift,
man.
he had more touchdowns than Swift and Saquon combined. They both had 11 touchdowns. All right, this guy had 12. In a worse team than DeAndre Swift, all right, almost as equal bad offensive line. I mean, that team didn't really pick up any steam on the quarterback position until Will Levis got there, but it was a mess anyway. We shall see next season. He is unreal. The guy is a fucking freak.
Yeah.
He's a freak.
Yeah, he really is, man. Spears cut into a lot of that volume that he was used to getting over the years. And I think they kind of got a little gun shy when he got that little kind of the weird foot injury a couple years ago that put him out for the rest of the year or whatever it was, or I put him out for several games. I think he came back with a playoff game. Well, whatever it was there, I think they got him a little gun shy, man. They want to take some of that volume out of there. So, don't put as many miles on that leg. He ain't getting no younger. I mean, we see he's still a freak because I do think that guy was definitely grown on Planet Nike. But, yeah, I mean, he's a monster, man. And so, he's obviously still got some good years left in him, but I think the Titans got a little scared of it, and they didn't know. I mean, it's kind of hard to commit to a guy like that and pay him the amount of money they want when, it hasn't – it's not like the Titans are winning championships. If it had been successful, so, a successful formula, but that's obviously they want to go in a different direction with a different style offense with Spears and Will Levis and all that. They're going to be a more wide open. They're not kind of hit you in the mouth. The Ravens can very much so be a hit you in the mouth type offense still. Run some of that read option stuff with Lamar. You imagine Lamar running the read option with Derrick Henry? Oh, that's nasty, man.
I mean, in his career, right, and he's probably going to take less money because he's already gotten the big payday. I don't mean like he's going to sign for pennies, right? He's just not going to take top running back money, which is, I think, the annual salary now is what, $15 million, I think, or
something like that.
I think it's safe anywhere to 15 or 17 mil. He's probably going to sign for 12, 13, right? Maybe 14. And from that, between 14 and 12 and 14, 2 years, or whatever the case may be. But he is
he's probably not getting any more than 2-year contracts.
Exactly. And he is so made, still has some miles left, but a winning team is going to pick him up. I don't think he's going to go to the Panthers, put it that way. You know what I mean? I don't think.
Oh, no. Derrick Henry is he's out there in the market. There's a lot of teams licking their chops trying to get this guy. So I mean, I don't know. Somebody may give him maybe a 3-year deal with a 4-year option or something like that.
Or so two with a 3, whatever the case may be. You
watch this video right here, and I promise you, I'll give you at least 2 with a 3. I probably leaning after that video. I probably lean into 3 with a 4.
Yeah, man. I'll be right now calling draft day. I'll be like, guys, let's use our draft pick for something else, right?
We don't need a running back. We're getting this guy. We're gonna pay this guy.
We got everything else covered. We need that guy right here because we're about to win a championship, and we need this guy to get us over the hump. That's the bottom line.
That guy's going to a contender.
Absolutely. I think he is. I think he definitely is, man. So. Yeah, man, those are my 3 kind of guys right now. It's early. We haven't started seeing it. We started hearing noise this week that I think right now it's going to tip the scale, right, of some team. I think any of these 3 players, Kirk, Henry, or Saquon, may tip the scales on any team in order to make them a contender, whether they were at the edge. Like as I'm saying, the Ravens are missing that kind of player. I think a running back, a good running back can help the Texans get to that next level, which they overachieved this year. You know what I'm saying? That kind of stuff.
I agree.
Dallas Cowboys, look, the Eagles, they have old running backs that are not on the guaranteed money and did not prove themselves to be worth a long-term contract, like Pollard, whoever thought they did. And so was Swift, right? Even though he had a nice season, he's still not the guy. He didn't put the numbers of Miles Sanders put him. Miles Sanders sucks. You know what I mean? So there's some contenders. I mean,
right.
It's contenders.
For it to be such a dead time of year for football, really, man, there's going to be an exciting next couple months as far as free agency goes. I think they got till March 5th to announce the franchise tags, and then you'll see some of the free agency pickup before the draft there because some of these teams want to know where they stand at certain positions before the draft. I think it's April 28th. So we got a lot going on in football the next couple months for it to be such a dead time of year.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. I'm here for it, baby. I'm here for it. Now, let's jump. Let's change the rhythm here, man, a little bit. Change the pace here. Talk about a little bit of NBA, man. And What do you think? Did you see J.J. Reddick yesterday? He was in First Take. He went off on kind of Doc Rivers, calling him like, people don't like to hold him accountable and stuff like that. Did you take a look at that clip at all?
I did not see that one, man. I saw you had that in the notes, man, but I
Yeah.
actually did not see that one, man.
Let me play this for you. This is what he said, and it's only a 55-second clip, and I'm gonna, I'll go into a little more detail about this. But I'm gonna tell you pretty much they were asking about, how the Doc Rivers, I forget the name of the coach that for the Bucks before. He was a good. He had a good record. They fired him. They hired Doc Rivers. But Doc Rivers is 3-7 right now, right, through 10 games. Made some excuses about that it's tough to be a coach and all that kind of stuff right now. Taking a team in the middle of the season, saying that his players are not playing the way they should. So this guy right here just did not. Reddick. J.J. Reddick has been one of those guys that there's times that I love him, there's times that I hate him. He's one of those guys that kind of irks you. I'm a fan because I'm a big Duke fan. You know what I'm saying? So, but at the end of the day, man, he had this to say, and let me see what you think.
Conference. Side note, real quick, no one's going to react to Doc's audio there. We've been here 7 minutes since we showed that audio. Nobody's going to react to Doc's audio.
Do you want me to get it repeated for you?
You don't have to repeat it. We don't have to repeat it.
I can repeat
I've seen the trend now. I've seen the trend for years.
What's the trend?
The trend is always making excuses. Doc, we get it. Taking over a team in the middle of the season is hard. It's hard. We get it. Just like getting traded in the middle of the season is hard for a player. We get it. But it's always an excuse. It's always throwing your team under the bus. They lose to Memphis. Oh, it's his players' fault. Memphis was playing G League guys and two-way guys. And then you look at his quotes over the weekend. Now he wants to take credit for the James Harden trade to the Clippers working out. He wants credit for that. There's never accountability with that guy.
Well,
there's never accountability.
Well, let me say a couple of things. Number one.
Man,
he went ham and wanted all the smoke with Doc Rivers. And as you know, he played for Doc Rivers in the Clippers. You know what I mean? His best years actually were that Clippers team under Doc Rivers. Remember, you had oh my gosh, you what was his name? You had Chris Paul on that team. What's his name? Oh my God, what's the name of the guy that used to dunk like crazy? The one dunk contest. I can't think of him right now.
Oh God, man, I'm drawing a blank too, man.
He was one of the best power forwards at that point. Now he's been washed up for the last 3 years. They had good shooters. Pat Beverly was there. He has some type of point, but at the end of the day, dude, look, the coach is almost as good as his day, especially in the NBA, as good as his players. You know what I mean? The NBA is a lot of individual players, man.
People can say that, man, but I don't. I think Doc Rivers has underperformed in his career with the amount of talent he's had on rosters and things like that. Man, I don't. Everybody wants to put Doc Rivers up on this pedestal, and I just don't see it, man. I don't, because I've seen this guy lose in the big spots way more than I've seen him win. It took 3 Hall of Famers to get him a championship. And so it's like, I don't respect him all that much as a coach. And I'm kind of with JJ on this thing because I do see that guy always blaming somebody else. It's always somebody else's fault. And then things that he really didn't have a whole lot of a hand in, he winds up wanting to take credit for and to get a pat on the back for those things, man. I will say this now. I did think it was cool that he let his coaches go do the All-Star game or whatever. And instead of taking that, because that coaching staff had still been there with the other guy that got fired. And that guy should have been the one coaching the damn All-Star game. And, but, I'm kind of with JJ on this thing. It's always somebody else's fault with Doc Rivers. And I'm kind of over it, man. I think he underperforms in the big spot. And I don't think they're going to be highly disappointed. They're building this whole machine up there with the Milwaukee Bucks, they think. And I think Dame Lillard's underperforming. I know he got the All-Star game MVP, but nobody played defense at all. Everybody shot that day from wide open. And, I don't think they're going to make a deep run. I see them making another early exit to the playoffs. Maybe they make it through the first round, but I don't think they make it past the second round of the playoffs.
Yeah. So, again, sometimes I agree with JJ. Sometimes I don't. I'm usually 50-50 with him. And I'm also 50-50 on this take. Like I said, I get where he's coming from. Yes, I do also agree with you that Doc is overrated, right? And I'm a Doc Rivers fan. He played for the Knicks, man, when we had that tough-ass team against the Bulls in the 90s. How as a coach, I'm not a fan because he is kind of overrated. He's had more talent than most coaches I've done with. He's had a better coach than Spoelstra, and Spoelstra has won after LeBron James. You know what I'm saying, dude?
Absolutely not.
With a lot
Absolutely
less.
not.
With a lot less. You know what I'm saying? So when you look at that, I think Spoelstra's a better coach. Dude. He's a better coach. He's a better man of the game, right? He's a student of the game. Doc just played the game, and he was a really good player. Not saying he's a bad coach, but he's not elite. All right, you know what I'm saying? He's had a lot of opportunities.
I'm with you, bro. I thought that for years too, man. I don't get involved in a whole lot of NBA debates, man, because that's not one of my biggest fields there. But I do pay attention to it, man. And I've seen this guy underperform a lot. And I love Eric Spoelstra, man. I've seen him do a lot. I know some of his championships got Hall of Famers on them too, but most championships do, man. Most teams that win championships. I'm just saying Doc had that for a few different times. He should have more rings than he's got.
Yep,
And, and I've seen spots where we thought he was going to get them, and teams with way lesser talent, sent him on the road.
So obviously, this created some smoke out here, bro. You know what I'm saying? This created some smoke. So Pat Beverly decided to go and throw smoke back, right? He clapped back. He clapped back at J.J. Reddick. Let me see if I have the let me go back here and let me show you. So he actually tweeted out at J.J. Reddick. Here you go. He goes to why didn't you? He goes right here. Let me see here. Let me just go back to the original tweet here. Pat Beverly goes to him. This man, Doc, actually saved your career. Started you when no one else wanted you. You retire and go on TV and set that. And of course, JJ was like, Pat. He goes, I had a 4-year offer with a player option for the same money to be a starter in a different team. Of course, fuck out of here. Saved my career. So look, Pat, loves, and supposedly he was on this podcast today, JJ Reddick. But it didn't end there because J.J. Reddick still hired back. I mean, Pat then fired back and said, well, you know what? Why didn't you take it then? You was comfy in your role with the team and then just say LA. So, dude, he had people to fire back at him. Pat Beverly's not shy. He has a really good podcast, by the way.
No, yeah, Pat is not shy, man. He is not. That dude's worth the price of entertainment, man.
That's true. Also, Austin Rivers decided to fire back as well.
Take off for my
Austin Rivers is Doc Rivers' son, right? And these two guys also were our former, they're same alma mater with Duke. Let me play you. Did you see also Austin? You didn't see Austin Rivers' response, right? Austin Rivers went a little more classy than J.J. Reddick did, so I give him credit for that. Here's a response from Austin Rivers defending Doc Rivers.
First off, I don't feel responsible to take off for my dad. He's a grown man. He could do his own thing. But in this regard, I just simply don't agree with it. For someone who's not accountable, he seems to always be held responsible, considering he's the guy that's always fired when things don't go right. He got fired in the bubble for a 3-1 lead versus the Denver Nuggets, which in half his team didn't want to be there. They had players saying that their mind wasn't there. He had guys leave. That happened. Then he gets fired for losing to a team that was favored over him, which was the Celtics last year. It seems like he's always responsible. It's just as strange coming from JJ. And I have some love for JJ. You're my dookie. You know that. You're my bro. I love you. It's just your best years were with the Clippers. I don't think he saved your career. I appreciate you, Pat. But I don't think it – this just seems a little bit weird. They're 3-7. Dame has missed most of those games. Middleton's missed a lot of those games. They haven't even had their full team yet. We'll see what happens. The pressure is there. They do have to perform. But in terms of accountability, like, what are we doing here? Your best years in the NBA were when you played for him in the Clippers. Let's not forget that. I don't know if there's like frustration there or there's tension there between you. I know a lot of times we had to sit you towards the end of the game due to defensive reasons, but you had your best years as a starter there, especially our whole system was drafted around you because you're a shooter. You're not a guy who could put the ball on the floor. You were a strictly shoot guy. You're not like Klay Thompson or Steph who could put the ball on the floor. You were a guy who could catch and shoot, and you did it at a high level. Hell of a career, by the way. Big fan. But your best years were under him. It's just very ironic and kind of weird that you have this energy towards him in terms of him never, ever being accountable, considering he's always been responsible.
Made some good points. He has to defend his pops, right? He has to defend his pops.
Pretty well said, man. Pretty well said. Like I said, this is why I don't really get in a lot of the NBA debates, man, because it's like, I want to be on both sides of the fence now. I like the way he handled it there, but I don't have a problem with the way JJ did it either.
No, I think both guys have points to prove. And I think both guys prove their point.
It does seem a little weird, though, man. I wonder. That sounds like there's some more layers to that onion, too, man. I don't know what's going on there, what kind of animosity JJ's got against Doc for whatever reason, but it does sound like there's a little more to that story than we're getting told.
There's some history there, and I think it's got to come out. JJ actually went on Pat Beverly's podcast today. We haven't seen any clips go out there. It's either going to be there today or was going to be there later, one of the two. So that's pretty wild. So I'm looking forward to see what kind of conversation and what went through with Pat Beverly and J.J. Reddick. Because I give J.J. credit. He's one of those guys that just says what he says, but he likes to tip the bubble. You know what I'm saying? He goes back and forth. He likes to troll a little bit. But both guys prove the point. It is what it is. It depends on which side of the fence you're on when it comes to the NBA. But there's definitely something behind that.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. There's some going on there that we don't know about, but interesting for sure.
Absolutely. So here we go. J.J. Reddick and Shannon Sharp are why Stephen A. never replaced Kellerman. Well, he did replace him. So Reddick is like the NBA unwatchable. Yeah, the NBA, especially that All-Star game. That All-Star game was
Oh my gosh.
was definitely.
They ought to be ashamed, man. They ought to give all whatever bonuses they get for that. They should have to donate to charity. They damn. Bro.
It was fitting the narrative there. It was
absolutely, bro. I mean, that was disgusting. Bro, my dumb ass bet the under in that damn thing. The highest scoring All-Star game of all time. Team goes over 200 points. I know I was in trouble when they scored 100. Yeah, when I scored 100 they scored 100 in the first quarter. I was like, oh, we're in trouble here, bro.
I was there on Sunday when you bet the. Actually, I didn't touch the game at all. I did pick the MVP picks that you and I spoke about, but that didn't go our way. You know.
No, man, it looked good. Halliburton looked a little good early, man. It wound up. He came out, hit 5 threes in a row right off the bat. Hometown guy. You're thinking, all right, man. I had him at the what was it? He was 6-1 for the MVP, but he was like 20-1 to be that leading scorer. And at first, it looked good, man.
He was creeping up there. He was really creeping up there, man. All right, buddy. So listen, we now it's time of the show that we got to end it up. Like again, it's off the off season. I like to do a little segment called "What's Trending in Sports This Week," in case you missed it. I'd like to give you some of the top highlights so you and I, headlines. Yes, you and I can react. Let me go to the comments real quick here. We got one more comment highlighted here. Yep, the All-Star game was sad. And you know what? Why don't we lead off with the All-Star game in that matter? All right. One of the things we had part of the All-Star game is that we come accustomed now to this new, let me just get out of this, right? This new age mentality by these players, which I'm not a fan. Some people say that, these young cats nowadays don't react the same way as other people do. But you know what? Go F yourself. And here's a perfect example of why the All-Star game was so bad, right? Here we go. Anthony Edwards says that the All-Star game is considered a break and it is not viewed as competitive. And I quote, "For me, it's an All-Star game, so I don't think I will ever look at it like it being super competitive. It's always fun. I don't know what they can do to make it more competitive. It's always fun, but I don't know what they can do to make it more competitive. It's a break. I don't think nobody wants to come here and compete." That's the reason why the All-Star game sucks ass, because you have players with that mentality.
Yeah, I mean, why are we still doing it?
Exactly.
I mean, what's the point? I mean, it's obviously a money maker, but you just get to the point where nobody even wants to watch it, man. I watched the first quarter because it was kind of fun. Those guys were shooting from everywhere. That was fun for a minute, but then I was bored with it.
That's exactly. And here's the thing. When you look at, and this week, everybody and their mother, all the old heads like myself, started pulling up clips and posted them. In the 90s, Scottie Pippen and Barkley would go at it. All right?
Man.
Post position. Kobe was the Kobe era was the last true competitor because Kobe wanted to win that MVP every single time. He wanted to play defense on LeBron every single time, and he wanted LeBron to beat his ass up as well because Kobe had something to prove. You went to the All-Star game because the best of the best were playing, so therefore you wanted to be the best amongst the best. That's why Jordan fucking never took a break. Kobe was the same way. You had everybody that went during the 90s, man, would be like, listen, I got to get this clout, dude, because I want to be here next year. But I want to prove that I belong here. That's different mentality.
We talked about it the other day. You see them, I don't remember what show it was on. They all run together now, but we were talking about, you remember that they showed that documentary on the Dream Team, the first Dream Team. They showed like the practices where they split up and the shit they were talking. And all. I mean, those dudes were balls to the wall in a gym with nobody in it, man. You can't get hyped up to play and show your skills with however many people were watching that thing the other night in the arena and on TV around the world and stuff. It's like, if they can get you fired up, and I'm just an ultra competitor, man. I always have been. I hate to lose. I don't, I'm going to get out there and give you 110 no matter what anyway. And I just don't understand how you wouldn't want to prove that on the stage with all the best players in the world playing together.
I play more defense on my pickup basketball game on Monday with my crew that we play once a week, all right, than any of those guys did in the combined 4 quarters, man, all right? And I have a torn ACL, and I'm turning 46 this weekend, and your boy was out there shooting and taking that shit to the rack. Yes, about 20 steps lower than I was 20 years ago, But, I'm still D'ing it up, man. And I'm not a defensive player.
Still
bro.
D'ing it up, bro. It's your birthday this weekend, man?
Yeah, Sunday, bro. Your boy turns 46, man. So,
man, happy birthday, man.
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you, man. That's why I don't want to get this fucking cold, brother. Hopefully it's like a fly-by-night thing. I got plans. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be sick on my birthday, dude.
Yeah, man. That's got to go, bro. We got things to do this weekend.
Oh, absolutely, man. You know what I'm saying? Got a nice weekend planned up with the wife and the kids. You know what I mean, man? It's gonna be got some stuff going on.
Yeah, they gonna get you better, man. You're gonna be better.
I hope so too, man. I hope so. Moving on to the next one, bro. Listen, all I gotta say is that Mr. Mike Tannenbaum is a fucking idiot, and there's a reason why he is not on TV any longer. All right, I'm not on TV. He's on TV. There's a reason why this dumbass is not it's not a GM anymore. Last week, he had the balls to, on a show that he goes from ESPN. What show is he on ESPN? He's on Get Up and ESPN. He goes in there once in a while. Last week, he said that the Giants should trade. I don't know what his deal with the fucking Giants is, but he said the Giants should really consider trading Daniel Jones with Deshaun Watson, straight up. And I forget, with a second-round pick or some shit like that. I'm like, dude, are you smoking crack? If the Giants even consider this trolling offer, they should be considered the dumbest organization in football if they consider this trade. That's what he said last week. This week, the dumbass decides to do the same thing and said, the Giants should consider this other trade proposal. Ready? The Giant gets the number 1 pick, the overall number 1 pick, traded to the Bears for the number 6, a 2024 round second pick, a 2025 first round pick, a 2025 second round pick, came beyond Thibodeau. All right. This is why he wanted. He says that there's a good reason why Tannenbaum is doing TV and not running the team anymore, because of stupid trades like this. I mean, which of these two trades, if you're a GM, if you're the GM of the Giants, would this even hit your radar?
No, absolutely not. I would think that this was a child, 12-year-old child putting this together or something. Trade on Madden or something.
Exactly. This is not even a good fucking dynasty or keeper league trade. All right. If you want to do this, what the hell is this?
He's clearly not auditioning for GM jobs. Clearly.
Obviously not. I mean, this guy, whatever he's smoking, whatever he's putting on his pipe, whether it's a rock, whether it's freaking a bud or whatever, this guy is really, they're selling him some real bad shit that's creating a lot of hallucinogen in his head to come up with these freaking trades, man. This guy's not well. I mean, this is just, and you're on TV spewing this out there. I'm not pissed off mainly because it's the Giants, but come on, man. Even if it's the damn Raiders or whatever other team, this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. I mean, this guy's
you gotta be better than this, bro. Gotta be better than this.
This is stupid. All right, moving on. I think that's pretty much. Oh, well, one last thing. Last, in case you missed it, it was trending this morning. As you all know, Justin Fields decided to unfollow the Bears. The new trend of everybody,
Oh no! Oh, that's the new thing. That's how you let people know you're pissed off now, man.
Yeah, he'll follow the Bears, man. Here we go. Justin Fields got to demand a trade. Anything else? Which, listen, dude, you know the Bears are. They even went out there and their GM said it. We're looking at every option right now. All right, we like what we have. We got to bring people in. Which is hire a new GM. We're looking at every option here. We're gonna explore everything with this number 1 pick.
Yeah.
So yes, the trade is not on the table. Which why wouldn't you? Right? You could definitely trade Justin Fields and get value for him if you want to, and just draft a quarterback. But however, Justin Fields decides to unfollow the team. And today he was actually on this guy. If you've ever heard of this podcast, they're actually pretty good. They are the, hold on a second. Let me just put them over here. They are they were on the, hold on. The third team, podcast. These guys doing some really good work. And Fields reveals why he unfollowed the Bears. Let me go ahead. And,
since we're here, hold on.
Let me go ahead and maximize this. And he went on today and say why he unfollowed the Bears. And actually, I respect him after this. Hold on a second.
Since we're here, hold on.
But I mean, we're not comparing.
No. Since we're here,
all right, come on.
What's with the unfollow with the Bears? What's up with that?
Man, bro, I'm glad we're talking about it because why do people take social media so serious?
But why are you unfollowing the Bears?
I still mess with the Bears. It's not. I'm just trying to take a little break. I unfollow the Bears and the NFL, bro. I'm not just trying to have football on my timeline. Right? I know y'all mess with a girl, EQ, especially you. just because you don't follow the girl on IG, don't mean you're not messing with her.
That's true.
You
That's
feel me?
true. That's facts. That's facts.
Oh, so you're saying you mess with the Bears more now that you don't follow them?
Man, it's not even like that.
Okay.
It's something that I don't want to see in my timeline. I'm about to go on vacation. I don't want to see no football. And guess what?
Just get a little away for a little bit.
It's either keep Fields. We want Fields. It's either draft Caleb. So it's like, bruh, man, I'm tired of hearing the talk. I just want it to be over.
Yeah, I can feel that, man. I can understand you don't want to mess with that.
Yeah, I mean, look, he also could mute the damn team. You know what I mean? You don't get any feed, nothing on the feed from them. You can mute them, whether it's Instagram, whether it's Facebook, or whether it's freaking X or TikTok, whatever that social media everybody has nowadays. You can absolutely mute them if you want to. But look, I get it. You know what? Hey, whether he did it, we know he did it because this is what everybody does nowadays. But that was a really good comeback. I give him credit. That was good. That was a good excuse or a good reason why he unfollowed the Bears. So, but he knows it. He knows it. He is. There is the option of him being traded is already up in the table. It's up there, and it's not something that's maybe no. I think this is a very strong option. I think he's going to be part of a good blockbuster type of trade because I think you get some good draft capital for Fields. I think he still has value. So
yeah, I agree, man. I agree. I think we're going to see this unfold over the next couple months here. And like I said, I agree with him. I can understand not wanting to see all that stuff. Just want to get away from it all for a little bit, man.
Yep, it is what it is, my man. Here, let me go ahead and let me do one last comment here before we close it out. Again, Bravery Sports, we appreciate you, man, coming on and watching and hitting the comments. That's the rumor. That's the rumor.
Yeah.
Not a Caleb Williams fans. I'll tell you that much. I hope they take.
I was going to say I'm not a Caleb Williams fan, man. So I'd have to.
You and I have agreed on that.
Yeah, we have. We won't dive down that rabbit hole tonight, man. But
not tonight.
They probably will screw it up and do that though.
Yeah, or I hope my Giants don't end up trading down to get Caleb Williams as well. And
getting up in that thing. Yeah, you don't want that, bro.
No, I'd rather pick another quarterback that probably is going to land in that position. And listen, I think they will talk about free agency and the drafts in another episode because we're going to be here all night. I don't want to do that. I'm sick as shit.
That's fair.
Oh man, yo, Cricket, listen, you are right now headlining a new show. I was able to be part of it this weekend. Go ahead and shout out all your shows. The Damn Sports Show, the new you're heading out here. Come on, go ahead and let the viewers where they could find you, where they could find the show, and all the good stuff, man.
Okay, but yeah, you can find me over on X at Cricket1414. Me, Will, and I, my guy, Game On, over at the Game On channel on Rumble. We do a sports morning espresso shot, this morning show for sports, covering all things sports every morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern, 4:30 a.m. Pacific. And then we started last week. We started our new show over on That Damn Sports Network, Smoke the Spread. So we got a good crew over there, man. You got Ari and Chris and Eric. So Elio joined us on Sunday. We'll bring some of our friends in on the weekend. But we run that show on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday from 5 p.m. Eastern to 7 p.m. Eastern. And then we're on Saturday and Sunday from 10 a.m. to noon. And that's Eastern time as well. So we got that going on. And then you can also find me over at sportspicks.locals.com. We got the great Robert Barnes over there making the official picks. Got a good community you can interact with. So come over there and check us out, man. sportspicks.locals.com, where we turn the odds in your favor.
If you don't like money, then you're not following this guy. But if you like money, follow him on Twitter. Check out all the shows that he's in. He speaks. This guy has I'm telling you, he has a really good record. He doesn't do this shit for bullshitting. He's really good at what he does. His the Damn Sports Show, the Damn Sports Network is really good. You got what I love about being you guys that you got a person in Ari who is all analytical, and then you have you, who it's all from the gut experience and a lot of sports knowledge, right? So it's two different views, which most of the time these two guys agree with different strategies. Great show.
It's pretty when the stars align, man, it's been pretty nasty on the ROI there, man. It's been a good run. So when Ari and I usually line up on those picks with her analytics and then I guess sports intuition, man, I've been doing this stuff my whole life. So when all that comes together, man, it seems to be a pretty solid play for right now. So y'all need to tune in, man. Check it out. Smoke the Spread over there on That Damn Sports Network. Like I said, 5 days a week, Tuesday through Thursday, 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. and then Saturday, Sunday, 10 a.m. to noon.
And then you can catch in with my ass on Wednesdays or Mondays, once a week. It's Scripted Sportscast, baby.
That's right, baby. We're here, man. We're here for y'all. Men of the people.
There we go, man. We got another edition of the Sports Cigars and Sports with my man Jim from Fan of the Van this Friday. You know how it is, bro. Get your fucking blazers ready because you know how every time me and this guy link up is it's ugly. It's ugly. People don't like us, but guess what? We spit the truth in a little bit of unfiltered fashion. This is a little more cleaner. If you like, if you don't get offended easy, tune into that on Friday, 8 p.m. All right.
That's right. That's right, man. Check them out, man.
Go ahead,
I appreciate you, man. Enjoyed it. Happy birthday. Be safe this weekend. I hope you get to feeling better, bro.
You got it, brother. We'll see you next week. Your boy E-Man from the Average Joe Sports Talk podcast signing out. And my man Cricket. Peace.